Hi there, folks. It's happy at the banner bar. So yeah, let's get into it. And I'm all by myself tonight. I was trying to set something up with some people that everybody left me by myself tonight. So much like this 6-pack, it's whatever. I'm just gonna go with it. See what had happened. Then when I try these, because I'm really excited about them. Most of this Eric brought up for a different trip, and we got a little too drunk to try these that night, so I'm gonna go off on and try them because I know he done had all of it. So we'll see what I think about it since I'm off by myself tonight. That's gonna be that. I feel real bad about one of them episodes too because it. Like the camera cut out, and so it's just a bunch of darkness. Not the whole time. It'd be like a fifth of the sixth of the time. Rambling. I apologize. This first beer is from Founders. It's a part of the KBS series. This the chocolate cherry. The first beer we're gonna try here today. This from Founders. It's part of their KBS series, and this the chocolate cherry. It's an Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels, and it's 11.6%. So it's a heavy beast. And that's where we're starting, I guess. So we'll see what's about it. Chocolate cherry though is extremely dark. I ain't much head there. There's a little bit of bubbles. It bubbles slowly. This stuff's so thick it take the bubble a minute. It don't just pop up. Question here is what's your favorite kind of meat? I guess I can answer that maybe. This stuff smells like straight up coffee. It may be like some syrup in there. And you do pick up a little faint hint of cherry at the back. Mostly it's chocolate though. I guess it's the bourbon barrel that I'm picking up on. Chocolate cherry. Yeah, it's like coffee bitterness. So they just put some cherry juice in here. I tell you this for cozying up to your sweetheart. You damn sure gonna cozy up to him, cause it's gonna knock you on your air. Tastes right off the bat. Chocolate coffee. I mean, there's a thick bready chocolate, but with coffee notes. Like if you had coffee grounds and some, almost like a breakfast type chocolate cake bread, or like a cake. Did I say cake? All right. See. 11.6, already going in my head. It is fairly reminiscent of cherry cordial, chocolate cherry cordial you had during the holiday. That's exactly what this remind me of in a lot of ways. I like that bourbon hint. I'm not entirely sold on the cherry. And I know a lot of people that think that the bourbon and the cherry go together really well. And I ain't mad at that, to each their own. I mean, it's a really well-made beer. I can see a lot of people going a little higher than this one for me. But I'm going to go off and say this one is 6 for me. Personally, as far as this question about your favorite kind of meat, I think it's a tough one just because I like a variety of things, I could say, what are we talking? Are we talking the animal? Are we talking the part of the animal? The preparation of the meat? Like what exactly is we talking about? Because you could say a pig, you could say bacon, you could say pulled pork with barbecue. So there's so much that you could say. Things that I depend pretty heavily on at home is pepperoni and chorizo, not together, just I like both of them. Yeah, we cook with a lot of turkey. Damn near everything we cook with here is turkey. So it could be ground, or other preparations of turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't cook a whole lot of a cow. We do use some chicken though. Turkey has proven a really nice. Let us move away from the cow meat, and that stuff was proven. At some point, it started tasting too gamey. It was a little too fatty for me, so we move off onto the turkey, and that's probably where I'm landing is turkey. which is weird because you think about having that normally like at Thanksgiving. I'm rambling. Let me go and finish this. 6 was definitely the right call though. If you love a cherry cordial and you want to be drinking like a cup of black coffee at the same time, that's pretty much where this gets you. It'll also get you 3 sheets to the wind laid up on the floor because it's strong as hell. Next up be from Boulevard. It's part of their smokestack series. It's called the Calling IPA. It's a double. 1 malt, 8 hops, balanced determination. And I'm going to see if I can find something out about it. It's just talking about Dreamers. And there it is. 8.5%. 75 IBU. I mean, that's decent. IPA wise. Yeah, pour. It's got the flower go off on it. The flower look, I should say. Now, for this question, have you gone to more than one fast food restaurant for a single meal? I mean, you see me. Do I really have to answer this question? We'll answer this question. The answer might surprise you. I don't know. It smells juicy. Kind of like pineapple juice a little bit, but I'm also getting the soap notes, And I think I'm also smelling my cologne. It mixed kind of well with some of what's going on here. Real smooth, real malty. It was a cold, cool. It definitely didn't strike me as IPA right off the bat. I will say that much. Now, this is supposed to be a double too. Well, whatever they do with these 8 hops, they hiding it pretty well. And this single malt, I mean, you may not be able to see that at home. I know we ain't got the best cameras or whatnot. It's lacing real slow. Like it's got these real slow moving bubbles. And that's just maltiness in the beer from the grains. So this does not punch. It actually reminds me of like a malty beer with pineapple juice, like real good pineapple juice. And then you do get some hop note in it. It's not to say it's not an IPA. It's just far from the strongest IPA. I would never have thought this was a double. Damn. Yeah, and I bet as it warms, you'll get more of the IPA. You'll get more of the hop to come through. But I still think it's going to be damn good. There's a lot of drinkability here, and you don't get too much opportunity to say that with IPAs unless you're just obsessed with IPAs. I'm not the level of obsession that I'd like to be, but I am definitely finding a few of those what they call pineapple type juicy IPAs, not the hazy orange or like citrus, not that. It's more like pineapple, and this. It works really well. I'm going to go off and give it an 8. Yeah, I could drink that entire can, no problem. Still go back for more. I'd be fine. I mean, I might not be fine because it's a pretty big can and it's heavy. It's 8.5%. So, but it is tasty. I could see drinking a bunch of them if you just had a real bad day and didn't want to remember shit. So, have you gone to more than one fast food restaurant for a single meal? Yes, I have. It's not something that ever happened a lot. Like you had to be doing this purposefully, And we did what they call them things. It was a potluck one time. We had a potluck party that was all fast food. So I don't really think that counts. What I'm thinking of is it was a day when I specifically went from like one fast food chain to the next. I hit up like 3 or 4 different joints. It wasn't like I was eating a whole bunch in any of them places, but I was still, I was trying to get a bite of the best things. And so I go off to these few restaurants and I eat my stuff. And what happened, I made myself sick. And it's one of the only times in life that has happened. I normally can tell, but I guess just because, it's addictive food that you're putting in you to begin with. Not addictive. It's designed to, to make you keep eating. And like I said, I don't feel like I ate too much, but my stomach disagreed and I got sick to the motherfucker. And I'm thinking it might have just been the combination of the types of food I was eating, You jump from American to not Chinese. I don't think I had Chinese, but like, you know, the Mexican, stuff like that. It just wasn't setting right. Something wasn't setting right. So I got sick, and I ain't never done nothing like that before. Or I ain't never done nothing like that again. But it was a good time while it lasted. I don't know. And I didn't spend much money. Just wanted to see what it was like. Anyway, so peach mango from Angry Orchard. This one of their hard ciders, but this the peach mango. It's 5% gluten free, and this ain't supposed to be apple. This is actually fruit. It's what it say. Now, if I read on the can about it in different parts, I bet it would say something different. But right there, it just say fruit. So take it at face value for what it is. Now, I actually had one of these hard fruit ones. Is a different flavor. I apologize. I don't remember what it was. And I don't think we have it stored in the fridge yet for the show, so I'm going to have to correct that mistake at some point. But the other one I had from this fruit line that they got going right now was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So hopes are kind of high here. Question being, when's the last time you had conversation with a stranger? So it took me a minute to process what was going on, right? I'm thinking I'm smelling beer, and it ain't beer. That's in the realm of cider. It's a fruit cider, right? So is that what it say? Fruit cider. Yeah, so apple's still gonna be in it. I'm lost. But what's kicking is not the apple. It's the peach and the mango for sure. And I'm getting both, and it's real beautiful notes on the top. So this one smelled really good. It looked kind of malty too. So I'm excited about that. Because normally ciders, they too damn dry. They don't punch right. This one looked like it might be good. Yeah, that's real good. It reminded me of drinking like not high C. Maybe it is high C. What's some pouches you would stick the straw off in? You know what I'm talking about? When you was a kid, had lots and lots of them because you was kids, you know. And what the fuck do you care how much they cost? You just gonna drink them up and then have somebody go buy some more, you know. The Santa Claus of drinks disappears and reappears with all the motherfucking drinks that you could ever want to drink. Swear to God. Sometimes I think that the people I know are so poor because we just spend all their damn money on food, groceries, and stuff. So, you know, what you gonna do? See, the thing is, mango on its own, people don't tend to like it because it's almost kind of funky. But peach tend to be overly sweet, you know. And I realized that lately. You go to try to eat a peach ring, you know, and it's just too much. It's way too much peach. But you dull it down a little bit with the apple, and then you throw the mango into it too. You got a beautiful blend of things happening here. You don't really notice so much that it's a cider. And you can't say that about many ciders. I feel like it was kind of a similar experience with that other one I was talking about earlier. It's still a fruit drink though, you know, and it's impressive that it's alcoholic, you know, because I feel like you could get this from like a Snapple or something, maybe one of them type of drinks. But I will give it a 7. It's part of me arguing with myself about giving it an 8 because it does taste really good. It's just not something I'm going to drink a ton of. I might want to, but that will make me sick because it's pretty sugary when all's said and done. But if you like ciders and you like a little bit of different flavors, you know, you want to throw back to like childhood and something that tastes really good, got a good mouthfeel. You know, it's about medium body. This pretty perfect. Ain't a whole lot wrong with that for a cider. Last time I had a conversation with a stranger. I try to avoid these things, you know. I try to avoid conversing with strangers just because, I mean, what's the point? Most of the time it ain't like this is somebody who's about getting ready to be in your life in a big way or something like that. Now, I know you can find all sorts of beautiful experiences and all that whatnot, but it just feel kind of pointless to me, right? So not counting my work where I do talk to strangers quite a bit and people will sit on the phone and tell you all about their life experiences. So a lot of lonely motherfucking people in the world, and they get on the phone every day is what they do. And suddenly they're your problem. You could have answered their question in 5 seconds, but they will ask you to repeat and repeat and repeat. And by the time you've repeated for like the 10th time, suddenly they found more to say. And now they're telling you everything that they possibly could about themselves. But not counting all that, had a party, went to last holiday season. And it was like assigned seats sort of situation. So We got seated with some folks I ain't never met before. I knew who this person was. I had no idea who his wife was, but we was all seated at the same table, whatnot, you know. And that was, I don't know nothing about them. Not going into it really, you know. I know what kind of work he does and all that, but nothing else really. And really great people. I really enjoyed that particular part of the conversation. I thought was nice. So that was cool. I ain't really got nothing else to say about that. It was a good experience, and maybe I'm pushing people away by not having more conversations with strangers. You know, maybe I'm not opening myself up enough to the new experiences. Here's why I'm sitting here at the table saying this, whatever, because I'm by myself tonight. But you know, a lot go on behind the scenes here. So we were trying to put together all kind of, you know, different types of groups, different peoples, and you give them the opportunity to step up to the plate. And you know, life is hard. Life is hard all around, and people can't always make it work. There's very few people that just got the time, you know, set aside like I do to do stupid stuff like this. Most people don't have that, so it's hard to put together. So I ain't trying to knock nobody. So I really appreciate the people that have come on and the people that will be coming on in the future. So anyway, the more I talk, the warmer this stuff is getting. So let's move on to Dragon's Milk. I'm not actually sure, just seeing it. I don't know if there's a lot of variations on this one or if this is the main one. I think this is the main one that got popular. This Joker, I didn't know this. It's 11%. It's a bourbon barrel aged stout. Apparently, if you want to make something real strong, you got to put it in a bourbon barrel. Because that's apparently the way you make it taste good. So, the more you know. Dragon's Milk. This by New Holland Brewing Company. For some reason, my mind kept thinking of Left Hand's Nitro Milk Stout. This completely different monster. Throughout the ages, Dragon Milk been a term used to describe potent ales, elixirs worthy of celebration and reward, into the journey. Signature Stout carries on that tradition today. Roasted malt delivers notes of coffee and chocolate married with sweet undertones of vanilla and oak from a 3-month stay in bourbon barrels to create a truly legendary blend of flavor. I feel like if I did this show for another 10 years and then I started brewing beer, I mean, I'd never be rich because I just drink my own stuff at home and nobody would ever really get to taste it unless they was coming over, but it's nice to dream. So this definitely look a little lighter. It's bubbling faster. It looks, I mean, it's still a stout. You could tell that. It is just, it's getting close to porter on them bubbles. And it got a little coppery smell, so, or if not copper, then like soy sauce maybe. I think is the other thing we discovered that people might resonate with when I talk about that smell. Question being, which accent you had the most trouble understanding? People in the comments gonna be like, "Yo's motherfucker, what the hell you say that here?" Sorry about it. It's how I like to talk sometimes. So sometimes it's how I talk. This one easier to smell. I like this smell on this more than I did on the cherry, the chocolate cherry. I don't know. This would be. It's funny because this one right here ain't too much stronger than this one. So that's kind of impressing me. That the taste might throw me completely. It's maybe way too bitter. That's gonna be my worry going in. Otherwise, it's stout. You know, you getting chocolate bread. And that soy sauce kind of thing that I like from porters. Definitely bourbon barrel aged. Which just make it smooth. It'd be curious to try these side by side. You know, one that hadn't been bourbon barrel aged and then one that had, so you could see the difference. But you at home, you ain't tasting what I'm tasting unless you just saw the lineup, you paused, you ran out, you got exactly what I had, and you ready to go. And if that's you, good on you. Come sit with me sometime. I'll save you some money. It's beautiful. They hide the alcohol pretty well. You don't catch it right up in the front of the mouthfeel. It's more in the back, and when it's going down the throat, it starts to warm, and you can tell, like, oh, this is boozy. This is boozy for real. Like, usually the bourbon barrel just kind of give it like a smooth, almost coconut type hint, right? Milky, almost, if you will. Hence, perhaps the Dragon's Milk. I know I read a eulogy earlier about what that's supposed to be, but, and I do really like this. I will say, it ain't blowing my socks off, And I don't feel like something that I'm going to remember too much or be able to differentiate too much as we go down the line, right? Like, I would know this. Ain't no mistake in this. It's molasses thick, got a coffee cherry cordial thing going on. Like, I would know. This one is really good. It's really boozy. It's smooth as hell. But it doesn't stand out too much on its own. And with the body, if I'm being honest, it's just a little bit light. So I'm going to give it a 7. But if you like these kinds of beers, if you want something that's real high in alcohol content and maybe doesn't feel too heavy when you drink it, right? Like, I don't know. You can get like Sam Adams stouts and they ain't this heavy. Or they're not this boozy. I should say they ain't got this much alcohol. But they feel more like this. This is a different monster. This is meant to be like a meal in a bottle, right? This one, I don't know. Have it alongside some sushi or something, right? It'll play well. Hell, pour it in a little dish, dip your sushi in there, dip your rolls, and then see how that treats you. And I did not mean to bring sushi up. If sushi puts you off, but this type of beer is your thing, just ignore what the hell I'm talking about. I'll be rambling. Accent, you had the most trouble understanding. I feel like it's the Scots. I try real hard. Like even TV shows where they got a bunch of Scottish people, I'm gonna turn the captions on. The Aussies be trying to throw me off sometime. And like you can acclimate to most of it, right? But something about that Scottish one, right? Like I feel like I had to be real drunk, and even then you just like, yeah, I know what you're saying. You had no idea what they're saying. But like if I was in a room full of heavy accent Indian people, I would understand what was going on. But Scots, not so much, right? Maybe it's not the most popular language where I'm at in film and TV, so I don't experience a lot of it. But it is some flicks that come on and some TV shows, some interviews and stuff like that. What? I had to rewind it. I had to turn the captions on. I don't understand it. I want to. Something about my brain ain't processing the way that it's certain. Yeah, is what it is. So, next up, we got this here. This one, I didn't even know about this. For some reason, it never occurred to me that Martin House brewed IPA. But apparently they do. Maybe they got more than this. This is the only one I've ever seen, though. And if you can't see this can, I would check it out sometime you ever get a chance. This is their the hell did I say? Oh, it's 8%. This they Battle Horse IPA. And in true fashion, there ain't much of anything else on this can. They tell you it brewed in Fort Worth, which is about 30 miles from where I'm at. Holy shit. This son bitch almost look like a bot. I hope I don't be looking like that horse when I'm done sipping on them. Yeah. That's going to be a heavy brew. I really don't know what to expect because most Martin House that I had, I guess I had King of Kings cake, which ultimately impressed me enough that it sticks out of my head like crazy, even though I don't think I can drink a bunch. But most of their stuff is sours or it's pickle beer, I ain't really had much else. This look heavy as shit, and that doesn't play in my head with what they normally make. Question gonna be, what makes for good oral sex? This smell malty than a bitch. The lacing is real nice. Reminds me of, not the smell, but the bubbles look soapish. So I could tell it's an IPA just by looking at it. And I really hope the body lives up here. It's got if y'all know me at all from this show, they got like, I say it all the time, like CREEKWATER, like catfish water. That soda IPA is what appealed to me. The funky stuff. And this damn show be smelling funky. It don't smell overly powerful, but let's give it a taste, see on what it do. See, now that is a punchy ass IPA. If you don't like flavor IPA, you gonna hate this. Tell you that right away. Be a 0 in your book. That having been said, it's got amber characteristics to it. it is approaching Bach like a motherfucker. I might even go so far as to say this is nearing a brown, you know. The way it hit the tongue is almost salty. That shouldn't surprise me at all given the brewery, but they do a little bit. I don't know if I ever had an IPA that just punch at the front like salt. But I kind of dig it. I feel like I would know what it was if I ever tried it again. Really, the only thing I could say negative categories here is if you don't like salt, you ain't gonna like it. The flavor profile is a bit kind of basic American IPA. It definitely ain't the CREEKWATER thing that I'm looking for. Although most of that may be the salt taken away from them characteristics that I like. But I do like the heavy mouthfeel of this thing. I ain't gonna go overboard though, because it's warming, not much, but it's warm a little bit, and already that soap stuff starting to come through, and I don't like that so much. So I feel like if you could get this ice ass cold, and you really love IPA, and you want it to be a little bit heavier, this is a good choice. This is a good option. You definitely hook this one up, especially since I ain't seen it anywhere, you know. So that. I feel bad I'm drinking some of this stuff by myself because a lot of these, I ain't never seen these. I seen this. Damn sure I'm going to see more of this because Angry Orchard got like 12 beers or 12 ciders. You might think you done seen this, but that's KBS. It's a whole ass line. So you probably seen like 20 different beers. And this one, from what I understand, it's brand new. KBS, that's a dessert beer like a motherfucker. All very different. Everything I had so far. And I'm guessing everything going to be because this next one, yeah, has to be different. I promise I'm not stalling. Y'all gonna have to let me know in the comments what you think about some of these questions, by the way, since I'm here by myself. Or, you let me know anything. If you want like some other hosts to come on and talk about these questions that they didn't have a chance to answer, we could definitely do that. I could sit my ass on the sideline and just hold out like a 5 for a beer, so you know what I rated it, because that's all I'm trying to rate everything, you know. That's why my ass is always in the seat. All right, now I feel like I'm stalling. So what make for good oral sex? I'm guessing I had to answer this selfishly, not in like I'm giving oral sex, but like I'm receiving oral sex. You know, and I am of the male variety, so I got them parts, and I mean it ain't a whole lot to it. You know, I think a lot of it seemed to be enjoying what you're doing, you know. And if you don't really enjoy what you're doing, that's noticeable, you know. But you could get away with it with a few minor tweaks. Like some of this I don't exactly feel comfortable talking about, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway because I always talk about shit. So why stop now? I think a lot of people who ain't got dicks seem to think that like the head is like this area where everything just pop off. And it ain't the case. The head feel next to nothing. It's right below the head that you're looking for, like underneath the head. That's the spot. That's like your G or your clit, not your G. That's like your clit. That's what you want to be hitting as you slide. Now the other thing, if you're going off on it, damn sure make you got a hand in the use. A lot of people will just go with a mouth only, and that, I mean, it's good, but you want to elevate yourself to the level of a professional. Make sure what you're doing is wet, and get a hand right up underneath your mouth. You ain't got to keep it down at the bottom, or even like stroking down at the bottom. Like I'm talking, you keep it up on your mouth, and move with that muff. And that's it. Pop. Whew. Well, now that conversation was had, I apologize. This is my life and I exist. So here we are. It's another Boulevard brew. This one's an ale. 5.7%. This is the Dream Vision Orange Vanilla Ale. And it say, dreams come true. Well, I don't know that I was dreaming about this, but I like to believe that dreams come true too. Just looking at this, I would think this was one of them hazy IPAs. Ain't even gonna lie. That's what I would think I was getting into. It don't smell like that. So, question B, what's something you might think? Try that again. What's something you think might be good? What's something you think you might be good at if you tried. Apparently sucking a dick since I know everything, right? That's not my answer. The smell on this is kind of muted. I ain't picking a whole lot up off the top. Like, you could tell me I was smelling an orange soda, and I'd probably believe you. Because if I couldn't see it and I couldn't taste it, that's kind of where I'm at. And it ain't even like an orange soda. It's almost like orange juice mixed with orange soda. I mean, that's what they're going for, right? Orange. I just thought it was interesting because you ain't pick up vanilla on the nose. Normally you can. And I feel like this has a smoothness to it that you could associate with vanilla. But the flavor profile, it ain't there. Like, if you're used to vanilla bean type flavor and stuff, this ain't where it's at. This is OJ. So, It don't feel like a beer to me. What it remind me of is one of the malt beverages, or almost like a cider. But it's not bad by any stretch. I can see a lot of people really liking it. If you dig orange and you don't want a beer to taste like a beer, this kind of up your alley. But it's a little too juicy for me, you know, too much like underlying apple underneath the orange, and I don't pick up the beer. It looked like somewhat like a beer when you looked at it, right? Like, it reminded me of IPA, but I don't even get ale off of this. This feel like someone that took like some orange juice, a little bit of soda, and put in like an orange liqueur, right? That's kind of what this remind me of. So that make it sound like it's real orangey and like it's gonna punch. You ain't talking like zest or nothing off in this. This is like a kind of muted. But I would give it a 5, right? Ain't the worst thing I ever had. And I wouldn't exactly call it forgettable. I can see a lot of people really digging this. But for me, this is one of the only near misses for Boulevard. But I appreciate about this brewery is that they take chances. And they do take some chances. That's to be appreciated. What's something I think I might be good at if I try? Now, the 2 things immediately come to mind. Well, now I'm thinking 3 things because, you know, you had to slow down for a second. You're like, hold up now, brain. You done forgot one. The original one, the OG one. I was big into art as a kid, right? Loved to draw. Loved art classes, loved all that. And I think I could still get down on it if I wanted to. I just don't apply myself. Other things, though, I think I'd make a good teacher. Every job I've ever had, I was real great at instructing and helping people understand things. It's always come natural to me, trying to put myself in people's shoes and help them move forward from where they are. Problem is, I don't want to deal with, 1, with kids who think they know it all, but 2, I don't want to deal with all the red tape, you know, all the bureaucracy, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And then, you know, my wife's a teacher, so ain't for me. It is for me, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be nice to have that recognition that you're helping the world, and you see it every day. You feel, well, maybe not every day, but ultimately you feel the rewards of the work that you put in. You reap what you're sowing. So when I do stuff like this, you know, people think it's something that is not, right? When you creating off by yourself, it's pretty lonely. Third thing would be science, period. So I could say like data science because I really like messing around with numbers and asking questions about the data and trying to figure out like, okay, well, you're jumping to conclusions here and which way we're thinking about there. But I mean, ultimately science in general, I think it's important. I would really love to bury myself in that sort of work and just let that be my life. Unfortunately, that's not the road I took. I had to work because I was dirt ass poor. So I did not choose the college route. Instead, you know, I spent most of my young life trying to get on my feet. And I don't know that I had the patience to go back to school just to try and start life out at, you know, I don't know, I'm still convinced I want to die too early. So I don't see what I'm headed to college for, right? Back to college, I should say. I went for a little while. But yeah, help us keep the convo going by sharing our video, or my video, whatever. And I'll see you next time for another round at the Bandit Bar.
I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go back.
I appreciate the sip.
want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the bench bar.
And for those of you who stuck around, I appreciate you. I'm gonna do my little thing here. Just because you stuck around, I'm gonna mix them all. We're gonna see what we got. A little bit of everything. Just a little bit. Ooh, this gonna be a weird one. Normally you could take a 6-pack and mix it and most anything gonna taste good. This one gonna be weird as shit. Can't forget about the chocolate syrup. The smell, it do remind me of something. I want to say like I had an IPA once that had chocolate coffee notes in it. And I don't remember what it was, but very unique. And this seemed right in that ballpark. It don't really play. It ain't bad, but it's exactly what you would think it would be if you was drinking just a bunch of like discards in a bowl. That's kind of the feel I get off this. So as a combined 6-pack, if I was gonna score it, I'd give it a 4. It's close to a 5, but realistically, it's 4. Anyway, farewell, beer snobs.